Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we're diving into a massive, and I mean absolutely game-changing architectural shift in artificial intelligence. We are officially moving away from the era of standard, autoregressive chatbots that just predict the next word or spit out generic trivia. Instead, we're looking at a constraint-driven, collaborative model that's designed to act as a highly capable, deeply reliable digital coworker. This is all about Anthropic's pivot toward an AI that actually understands the nuances of your professional workflows, completely transforming how organizations approach complex problem solving.
So, the fundamental question driving all of this is actually pretty simple. What if your AI was actually a thought partner, right? Forget the basic command and response routine. Imagine a dynamic back and forth. For instance, instead of just asking an AI to, say, write an email, you actually bring in a tricky client situation. You strategize the best diplomatic approach together, you weigh different communication styles, and then you draft the message. We are stepping way beyond basic one-off interactions here into a true assistant-like partnership where the AI helps you think through really challenging, multi-layered problems.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll meet your thought partner, look at the constitutional AI difference, see how it supercharges your daily tasks, check out Claude in your workspace, and finally, get you ready to partner up. Let's jump in. Section 2. The constitutional AI difference. So, what makes this model fundamentally different? Well, Claude is built on a framework called constitutional AI. In the early days of large language models, AI was kind of the Wild West, largely unconstrained, which, as we all know, often led to unpredictable or even toxic outputs. And let's be real, that's a massive risk for any professional environment. Constitutional AI completely flips the script by explicitly training the system to align with human values and operate transparently. It relies on a distinct set of principles to govern its own behavior, rigorously avoiding anything discriminatory or illegal. For organizations, this architectural choice is absolutely crucial because it drastically reduces the risk of corporate PR disasters, ensuring safe, reliable, and predictable interactions every single time. This constitution actually relies on three main pillars: helpful, harmless, and honest. And hey, these aren't just fluffy marketing terms. They are the actual, literal guardrails embedded deep within the model's training data. Everything Claude does is weighed against these three imperatives. To put that into practice, imagine a scenario where someone asks the AI to help draft a phishing email to test employee security. The model has to weigh being helpful to the user against being harmless. Because the Constitution prioritizes harmlessness, the model is going to refuse to write the malicious code. But it remains honest by clearly explaining exactly why it can't fulfill the request, while offering safe, ethical alternatives for cybersecurity training. Now, because of this incredibly safe foundation, Claude is designed to be highly steerable and deeply collaborative. Think of it almost like a highly adaptable sounding board. You don't need to spend hours agonizing over complex prompt engineering anymore. You can just dial up the corporate professionalism for a board report or, dial down the technical jargon when you're explaining a new concept to a recent hire. It adapts seamlessly to your specific corporate voice or your personal learning style, allowing you to iterate together until your unique perspective shines through, without all that usual friction. Section 3. Supercharging your daily tasks. The core cognitive capabilities of this system cover a massive spectrum of professional work. For writing and content creation, it doesn't just draft, it actively helps you iterate on structural flow and clarity. In software development, the coding assistance is uniquely sophisticated. Instead of just spotting a missed semicolon or a simple syntax error, which, let's face it, is pretty basic, it can actually explain the underlying logic flaw in your architecture. It handles advanced problem solving, math, and high-level strategy. But honestly, perhaps the most impactful feature is the learning mode. If you are diving into an unfamiliar domain, Claude adapts to your pace. It acts as a personal tutor, guiding your reasoning process step by step rather than just handing you the final answer, which actively develops your own critical thinking skills. It's brilliant. Now, get this. Claude operates with a standard context window of over 200,000 tokens. To put that technical spec into a more relatable perspective, that is roughly equal to reading 500 pages of text in a single, unbroken conversation. You can upload entire textbooks, massive legal briefs, or deep market research reports, and the model keeps all of that complex information firmly in mind without dropping the thread. It completely changes the way you interact with large datasets, allowing for comprehensive analysis without the model suddenly forgetting the instructions you gave it at the very beginning of the chat. But wait, it gets crazier. If your workflow requires even more depth, premium tiers like the Pro, Max,
team, and enterprise plans, expand that memory to an absolutely staggering 1 million tokens. 1 million! That effectively means you could upload an entire decade of corporate financial reports or a massive proprietary software codebase, all in one go. The AI can instantly cross-reference incredibly obscure data points across all of those documents simultaneously, surfacing deep, meaningful, and strategic insights that a human team might literally spend months trying to manually uncover. To process all of that data efficiently, Claude uses a hybrid model system featuring Opus and Sonnet, which essentially gives you two distinct cognitive gears. You have near-instant generation speed for quick, everyday tasks like drafting emails or summarizing short text. But for deep analysis, Anthropic introduced extended thinking. This allows the model to work through complex logic problems step by step. Actually, it drastically reduces hallucinations by forcing the AI to show its math in a hidden scratchpad before delivering the final answer to you, ensuring careful, deliberate, and highly accurate analysis. It's a real game changer.
Section 4. Claude in your workspace. The beauty of Claude is that it's designed to integrate exactly where you already work, minimizing friction in your daily routine. For primary interactions, deep brainstorming, and general writing, you access the standard interface right on the web. For software developers, Claude Code operates securely right in your terminal, serving as an agentic tool to manipulate files and push commits without you ever having to leave your IDE. Financial analysts and data scientists, you can utilize Claude for Excel, which sits natively as a sidebar to read, analyze, and debug complex formulas directly within your spreadsheets. And for team synchronization, there's a dedicated Slack integration. A really crucial element of this whole ecosystem is the seamless synchronization across all devices and all plan types, from the free tier all the way up to enterprise. Your context is never ever trapped in a single silo. You can easily start brainstorming a project structure on the mobile app during your morning commute, and the exact same conversation, with all of its memory and custom preferences intact, will be instantly waiting for you on your desktop when you arrive at the office. This maintains absolute workflow continuity.
I also have to highlight the Slack integration because it provides massive utility by solving the classic problem of AI lacking institutional knowledge. Claude actually becomes an active participant in your workspace. When you mention it in a thread, it doesn't just respond generically. It can actively search workspace channels, scan direct messages, and analyze securely shared files. It essentially reads the room before it speaks. Because it instantly has access to the full context of your team's ongoing project discussions, the insights it provides are immediately relevant and highly specific to your organization's actual workflow.
Section 5. Ready to partner up? We've covered a lot of ground today. I want to leave you with this one critical question. What tasks in your current work desperately need a thinking partner today? Seriously, take a look at your calendar right now. Identify the complex cognitive tasks, the strategic planning sessions, or even the tricky coding problems that you can delegate. Because if an AI can now handle the deep, complex, cognitive heavy lifting in your workspace, the real question isn't what the AI will do, it's what you will choose to do with all the time it gives back to you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.